As we know that animals and plants are two important divisions of the living organisms. Animals, in comparison to plants, are more complex organisms. They have to perform more functions and more complex functions. Plants, in comparison, have simpler structures. This is the reason that the cells of animals and cells of plants, they have certain differences, but of course they do have certain similarities. We talk about the differences and then we will talk about the similarities. Animal cells. In animal cells, the cell membrane or the plasma membrane is the outermost layer, but in plant cells there is a cell wall that surrounds the cell membrane, which means that plant cells have their outermost layer, the cell wall, but in animal cells the outermost layer is the cell membrane or the plasma membrane. In animal cells there are many vacuoles, food vacuoles, vacuoles for storage or other functions. In plant cells, however, particularly mature plant cells, they do have a single very large vacuole that covers almost all volume of the cell. This large vacuole is generated or developed by merging of smaller vacuoles which were present in the immature cell. The animal cells, they are roughly round in shape, or maybe they have diverse types of shapes. For example, a human body have about 200 types of different cells. Animal cells, they also have various different types. For example, a nerve cell have a particular structure. A muscle cell have another type of structure. The cells of stomach have a different types of structure. But the plant cell, due to presence of cell wall, have a roughly rectangular structure. The animal cells, they have their nucleus present almost inside the center. In the plant cells, in contrast, they have their nucleus, in mature cells particularly, on side of the cell because of presence of a very large vacuole. The nucleus is put aside and this is not present in the center. So this is another difference, and that difference is due to the presence of large vacuole inside the plant. In animal cell, cilia are usually present, but in the plant cells, cilia are rarely present. Animal cells do have centrioles, which we know act in the cell division. Centrioles are not present in most of the plants, the plant cells, but in fewer lower plants, centrioles are present. Now we look at the diagram of an animal cell and the plant cell. We can find out so many similarities. As we know that animal and plant cells both are eukaryotes. As the diagram shows, you can see that both have a nucleus in the center, which is covered by nuclear membrane and which have nucleolus inside, chromosomes, the chromatin material inside, and both of these have a cell membrane. Though in plants this cell membrane is covered by a cell wall. Both of these cells, animal and the plant, have mitochondria, many mitochondria, which we know are the powerhouse of the cell, and they produce energy in the form of ATP for the cells. Both of these have ribosomes, which actually produces the proteins for these cells. Both of these cells have endoplasmic reticulum, which actually modifies the proteins, particularly in the three-dimensional structure of proteins. They play a good role. Both of these cells have Golgi bodies or the Golgi complex, which actually is the post office of the cell, which packages different materials inside the cells, for example, proteins. As we see, both have cytoplasm. Both of the cells have a fluid that in which all the colloidal material, the organelles, the nucleus and everything is present. Both of these cells have cytoskeleton as well. So the plant and animal cells have so many similarities and some differences based upon the functions they have to carry out. Now we finish talking about the animal and plant cell.